Hello everyone, welcome to another Wizards Unite video, and happy Community Day, as today is the second Harry Potter Wizards Unite Community Day in the game focused around fortresses and a group, especially group fortress plays. So with that in mind, I thought it would be a perfect time to discuss team compositions, which by this means just the different compositions your team can have in terms of the professions. If you want, like, if you're a 4-person team, do you want like 2 auras, 1 Magizoologist, 1 professor, or like 2 Magizoologists, 1 aura, 1 professor, or such? So that could, you know, have the most amount of impact in the fortress. So anyways, let's start from the very top, 5-person fortresses. So 5-person groups, I think it's really hard to debate just for the sole purpose of fighting for just to farm red books. It's really hard to say the best composition isn't 2 auras, 2 Magizoologists, and 1 professor. That would be 6 people. 2 professors, that would be 2 of each. But this one it probably is the most effective for the most part, and also probably conserves the most potions as well. So that if that's anything that folks would be concerned about, this probably is the most potion conserving group. So the reason being is the 2 Magizoologists. Why do you have 2 Magizoologists? Number 1 reason is to revive each other, because the healing charm on, or also called stamina charm, I guess, on Magizoologists is utter garbage. you don't want to use 2 focus to heal like what, 30% HP if you guys have that maxed out. I think it's 25% if you have 3 of those, which most folks should have 3, I think, if you're going for Become the Beast, right? So you don't want to use that skill, and you want, if you die, you want your friend Magizoologist to revive you for the most part. It only costs 1 focus, it's really cheap, and when you got 2 Magizoologists, you got double the focus to throw around to revive people. The other reason why you want 2 is when an elite foe appears, you would need one of them to throw out a Brave Charm. Brave Charm, for those who max out Brave Charms, like myself, that's what, 130% or something boost? I can't remember. For some reason, the numbers are escaping me right now, but it's something like that. Boost to all the whole team against elite foes, and usually, if you only have 1 Magizoologist, the consequences of using a Brave Charm are actually pretty darning on Magizoologists. First of all, you're very likely to lose Become the Beast, which is the main source of power damage for Magizoologists. And also, you will be, like, even if you don't lose it, you will be really tight on the revive charm, so it will be really, really hard to spare focus to revive your teammates. Although, in the scenario where if you are the only Magizoologist on the team, and you're calculating, oh, should I use 1 focus to revive my teammate, or should I just keep that Become the Beast 5 focus? No. Revive your teammate. Don't keep Become the Beast. You can either sit out there, wait for someone to beat another enemy, and then have the aura transfer you some focus, get Become the Beast back, or whatever. Just don't hold on to it. Just revive your teammate. And that's the biggest reason why you should probably go with 2 Magizoologists, mainly because of how much strain 1 Magizoologist, that Magizoologist does have in the whole group battle. If you have 2 Magizoologists, it works out perfectly. You could have 1 person use the Brave Charm while they could still maintain Become the Beast due to the double auras that could transfer a focus to them, and then also the other Magizoologists, they could just keep their focus up. They could still retain Become the Beast, and then you have so much extra focus to revive your teammates. Even if there's 4 other people you have to revive, it's no problem at all if that Magizoologist doesn't have to use a 7 focus Brave Charm at the beginning of the game, right? So that's the biggest issue. And the other thing great about this composition is the 2 auras. 2 auras, you could pool focus for a Brave Charm for Magizoologist, pool focus for what was a proficiency charms for the professor, which you as a 5-person group, you should try to get it off as soon as possible for that professor. And the other reason why you probably don't want 2 professors is there's just way too much focus needed to really make it effective, and it's just hard to pull that away since auras you have to prioritize using confusion hexes, especially if there's a lot of pixies and earthlings around. You have to use those. So there wouldn't be enough focus to transfer around to professors, and then also it wouldn't be as useful. Like the other professor, like they don't use proficiency charm. Proficiency charm doesn't stack. If one person uses it, the other person doesn't really need to use it. Sure, they get freed up to use some more deterioration hexes, but overall the DPS just it really hurts for the most part. And let's see, what else do we have to talk about with a 5-person? I guess that's it. There's just so much free focus that auras can move around, either to Magizoologist or Professor, or keep for themselves to use confusion hexes on werewolves, dark wizards, earthlings, and pixies, etc. all that. So yeah, that would be the best combination for a 5-person group, in my opinion. So if you guys got 5 people or more, make sure when you're making a group of 5, try to go somewhere similar to that. Alright, so now let's go down to 4 people groups. 4 people groups, you could go with 1 aura, 1 professor, and 2 Magizoologists. This is the most potion conserving method. You could just Magizoologists revive each other, don't have to worry about that. And I guess you could get away with using 1 Magizoologist as well in in a 4-person situation, where you'd have 2 auras, 1 Magizoologist, and 1 professor. That could work, especially if your Magizoologist didn't max out Brave Charm and took a Bird in Hand instead for their last set of restricted books. If they didn't max out Brave Charm, they took Bird in Hand instead. You could maybe, especially if you do have a few levels on Protection Charm for the Professor, you could throw down a Protection Charm on your Magizoologist, and then auras just throw out weakening hexes against all the Magizoologist's opponents, so the Magizoologist doesn't die. But during Community Day, this wouldn't be that big of a problem since the healing potions, they brew quicker, and also they just heal a lot more. So if you guys got a lot of healing potions stocked up, you know, a composition with 1 Magizoologist could work out as well, whether that be 1 aura or 2 auras or 2 professors. But again, 2 professors, still a lot of focus to crunch. But if you guys brewed a lot of invigoration potions beforehand, strong invigorations, you could deal a lot of damage with that composition, 2 professors. Moving down to trios, I think there really is only one way to do trios, which is 1 professor, 1 Magizoologist, 1 aura. Not because of, you know, how well their skills work together, but mainly because of the proficiency stuff, right? So if you're proficient, you know, if you got 1 of each, then you'll be proficient against most foes. So that's the deal. Personally, I'm gonna have a 3-person group for Community Days, just so we're all proficient, and also we have really similar levels. We can all just go in, run Forest 5 with no problem usually. And the reason why we're not going for more people is just because sometimes people, you know, they disconnect or something, or they didn't get into the fort, and that would just be a waste of other people's times. It's really hard to, for 3 hours, coordinate exactly on how folks get into a chamber, right? As easy as it sounds, sometimes, you know, people slip by a second or two, so that kind of sucks a lot of times. But anyways, as for duos, all of them really work. I think the worst duo probably would be Aura. Is it Magizoologist plus Magizoologist? Just because you guys really don't have too much DPS, and if there's like an elite dangerous werewolf, you guys are kind of screwed, right? Unless you just eat a bunch of Extimula potions. But for the most part, all the duos kind of work, / also kind of not work. It's best to have, in any case scenario, the duos with the auras probably work the best, just because of the neutrals that the auras have. So there's that, and auras highest damage, neutrals. You fight werewolves and pixies, so that's a pretty good neutral to have. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Good luck on your community day adventures. Hopefully you guys could all get a decent amount of challenge XP, translate them into a decent amount of red bucks. So let me know in the comments down below what kind of group compositions you guys are going for. If you're playing solo, my condolences to you guys, since even if you have like one more person to play with you, it would grow the challenge XP a lot. So it's best to at least try to find one, but if you can't, you know, I know it's tough there. For me personally, it's really hard to find other people who play the game in their area as well. So anyways, again, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new to our channel for more Wizards Unite content in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one.